Greetings, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Living on Music. I'm Steve Hauk. Thanks for joining me. Tonight, we are looking at a band that has been around for about 20 plus years in Washington, D.C., features some of the area's most talented and wonderful musicians, including the two co-founders who were my guests on tonight's episode of Living on Music. The one and only Desson Thomson and his longtime singing affiliate, Brad Heck. And they were the co-founders of Cairo Fred, the main co-writers of the band. We're going to be talking to them about the evolution of their relationship since the 80s. They've known each other for about 30 plus years. And then how they evolved, again, about 22 years ago or so, to form Cairo Fred, who over the years has become an award-winning local band in numerous avenues. They're nominated currently for a 2022 Wammie. They've won numerous other awards and played a recent gig at the end of 2021 right here at Blues Alley in DC, the revered venue in Georgetown, right here in DC. And they had a show there. And I love the fact that we're going to be able to talk to Desson and Brad about Cairo Fred. Desson and I go back a little ways. We both sang at the David Bowie tribute at the Fillmore for Ron Neumeyer's Bandhouse Gigs show a number of years back, and got to see Desson and perform, and he kind of hosted the Bowie tribute, and it was a wonderful way to get to know him a little bit. And we also sang together at the Elvis Costello tribute at the Barnes of Wolf Trap. So I've known of Desson for a while, but what a fun ride this is going to be to talk to him about Cairo Fred. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Living on Music, Desson Thomson and Brad Heck. Desson and Brad, AKA part of Cairo Fred, welcome to Living on Music, you guys. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Great to be here.
Great. Glad to be here.
It's great to see you. Desson and I go back a little ways for sure. First met, I think, at Chuck's Bandhouse for the rehearsals for David Bowie, which for me, a mid-house cover band guy, was an unbelievable thing to watch people like you and Eric and the Sidleys play. But we go back a little bit. What I love is the nature of this band. Brad, it's so wonderful to have you on as well as a co-founder of Cairo Fred. I want to talk about you guys and your 30-year partnership before the band, as you know, back when, and the band. But a little bit first, how, maybe Desson, starting with you, and then you, Brad, how have you dealt with the last 24 months musically and personally? How are you coming out of this, Desson?
Well, you know, it's I couldn't have been happier as an artist for this pandemic, because I had so much time indoors to develop things, creative projects, write songs. I also write other things, you know, novels and so on. So yeah, I mean, I was pretty happy, because there's an element of an artist to being a hermit where you just got to sit away and woodshed, or you've got to create. So I was actually incredibly productive, because it was the only way through the madness, really. I felt sorry for people who didn't have driven projects like mine, because I thought, this is going to be a serious mental health.
Yeah. And you're not alone. I've had about 105 guests on Living on Music since this started. And there is a commonality to that, that most of you music-oriented people were able to find ways to get through. And there are a variety of those ways: the songwriting, the collaborating, even in the Jamulus or whatever it was online, and then the playing. Brad, how are you coming through this last 24 months?
Well, it was actually a very productive period musically.
Good.
Didn't we begin River Run during? We did the video River Run. The editing ourselves. Actually, John Dawson did the editing. We've recorded a couple of songs for our upcoming album. A couple that we've actually done where, you know, maybe I'll start with a rhythm track and, you know, click track. and a guitar, send it to somebody else, they'll add this. So, and we had some very successful results. So for me during this period, I'm pretty much Cairo Fred centric. I mean,
right.
That's kind of where my thinking is all the time, whether it's in terms of coming up with an idea to share with Desson, or coordinating people for an activity, or being involved in these projects, which were plentiful and just wonderful, and then topped off by some of these nominations in various music organizations, which, I mean, it's been joyous.
Oh, that's wonderful. And again, the Wammie nomination during this period is a wonderful extra boost. My show, Living on Music, who knew, got nominated for a Wammie. So the Music Media Award, who knew? I didn't expect that, but it's wonderful. And this Saturday night is the Wammie. So I'll be cheering you guys on, and all of my cohorts. I'm also a judge, so it's been really fun to do that myself. You know, that's what's wonderful, is that you guys as musicians were able to use this time where you had to kind of quarantine and focus back, and you've made it productive. We're gonna show people right off the top, before we get the wonderful honor of hearing you guys play some music for us. This is River Run. It was a wonderful video that was done. What was the impetus behind River Run?
You know, the pandemic actually is kind of a cue to this, because River Run was, remember how great it was outdoors, everybody?
Right.
Well, you know, our mutual aspiration to get out there and enjoy this. And because we had a song that was set, I take every opportunity to write songs about our area. I think of us as a Washington, D.C. band, and proudly so.
Yay.
Me too.
And I want to put Washington in just about every song, because, you know, if Bruce can do it with New Jersey, I can do it with DC.
Right. Beautiful.
DC is my penny lane. Okay.
Yeah.
And so River Run, we've got Great Falls. It's in the song lyrics. We actually happen to have Great Falls. You know, it's like Woody Allen. I happen to have Marshall McLuhan right here. I happen to have Great Falls right here.
Perfect.
So we went out there and we filmed, you know, with some glorious sun, this video.
Just three of us: Desson, John Dawson, our bass player,
right,
technology guy, and myself. The three of us. You know, I'm walking around holding the music in a boombox, and John is filming, setting up shots.
I remember us keeping our distance from each other as we filmed.
Right. You're like, don't come over near me right now, but let's keep doing this.
Brother, but stay away.
Oh, well, I love this. Music and lyrics by our guests today, Brad and Desson. This is a beauty. And it's funny, one of my memories that just popped up on Facebook, is we all get memories that pop up, where it was Great Falls the other day. So I was thinking of you too after I'd seen the video. This is recorded by the great Gant Kushner, who we all know well. Here we go. As we get into the life of Brad and Desson and Cairo Fred, let's start off and show you guys a little taste of this before we talk about these guys past. Here's a little bit of River Run.
I'm the man you see, lonely silhouette on a very pleasant day. I'm the one who walks alone by the riverside, watching the river run. Here in Great Falls, a beautiful corner of this natural world, I just can't forget or wash away the heartbreak I feel. Another day, I'm out on the river. I'm waiting for someone. She's never gonna come. She's gone away. She's gone by the river. Till I face the truth, I'll be here to watch that river, watching the river run, watching the river run. Every day you'll find me here.
Yeah, Yeah, that's a lot of fun, Destin. It shows your wonderful character and your singing, and Brad, everybody kind of shining. I love that. We're going to be showing some wonderful other clips of Cairo Fred and hearing you guys talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about you two and how this began, what, 30 some odd years ago. Where did you guys meet and how did music elevate into your presence?
You know, I knew Brad from quite a while ago.
70s, really.
Yeah, the 70s.
Oh.
And
It's been like it's been over 40 years, really.
I mean the 1870s. And I think Lincoln was president.
Right.
So, or just recently.
Yeah.
So I saw him play in what was the band? Babe? Or no, it wasn't Babe.
With Kathy DuPree, you mean?
In Tenleytown at Mr. Henry's.
Yeah, that was.
Well, he was a bass player, and I was watching him because I was dating his sister's best friend. I was dating.
Wow.
We went to see this band. You know, my girlfriend's sister's brother is playing a band. So I go. You know, I love this band, but I was just startled by how blue the eyes of the bass player were. I was like,
Right.
This guy's eyes caught in the light. It's just, I just never forgot that. I didn't even know. And then I'm at AU campus a few years later, and I just see these blue eyes going past me in the campus, and I go, Brad, you know,
Right.
and then we started talking, and then every time I saw him, we just started talking. And then we realized we're both into music. I had a music project I was working on with somebody else. We went into the AU studio. We did a few tunes, Live With Us. And then a few years later, we're talking about playing together. And he gives me a piece of music. It's kind of like a friend audition tape. And so I wrote a song to it. He comes to dinner with his wife and my wife. And I just sing the song for him. And I'm glad I passed the audition.
Right.
It blew me away. I mean, honest to God. I mean, because when I give him stuff, you know, frequently I'll give him a vocal track. I mean, just to give a sense of where things are. And I will try to do something that I'm really happy with or something. He came back and just blew me away, lyrically and melodically.
Right.
And at that moment, our partnership was, I would say, solidified from that moment forward. I mean, really.
Yeah.
That was the song Raincoat. Yeah.
Yep. Raincoat.
Oh, that's that. And I love the fact that you both have kind of a different background of music. Desson, your English music with people like, again, Stones Who, Traffic, Beatles, Free. Brad, you've got kind of the more American background of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Poco, the Beatles, which is everybody in the world. And then again, as Desson and I were talking, Brad, I'm going to see Steely Dan in a couple of months. I just got the tickets for my birthday, and you guys have that, right? You guys have that kind of comparison itself. I love that there's a quote: "The two of us come together and make this third entity," and I think that's a wonderful thing. And so over the years, you guys did bands together? You developed friendships, kind of cohort. How did it go along?
Well, we were always the common factor, you know, and so that was always the core. And so, you know, I think talented musicians will always gravitate towards someone that has a very driven agenda, because it's a train you can hook onto and you know, have your talents to bear. So we've always had that songwriting thing,
Right.
And the willingness to do the things that are necessary to go along with moving our ideas forward in the best possible fashion. So that's a lot of work that people oftentimes don't anticipate. Part of the process.
Absolutely. And as Desson had mentioned to me in some pre-discussions, you know, you're always expanding kind of the things that you're interested in, appreciating new music as time goes along. So it's wonderful to see this development of the friendship. And then boom, we'll talk about Cairo Fred in a minute and how that developed, I guess around 2000, was it? So that's 20 plus years ago. Phenomenal. But I'd love to hear you guys play. What can we expect to hear from you to start?
Spark. It's a relatively recent song that's called Spark the Wire.
And this was a recent song written by you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
And is this going to be on a new upcoming record, or was this on the other one?
Our forthcoming album, as you titled. So I guess you could call it a sneak preview.
I'll take that, and everybody's going to love that. This sounds wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of the inner workings of Cairo Fred. This is Desson and Brad. Go for it, gentlemen.
This is my town and my father's town and another round of fathers before him. This is my town, my happy hunting ground, and it is the town that I was born in. Here in my town, I throw my weight around, and right about now, I see that silver car. Here in my town, I need a ride tonight, so come along with me and let's go hunting. It's easy when you strip the wire. That's when I like to close my eyes. I touch it and I feel the spark, then I feel the engine fire. If you feel the heat is coming, darkness is your hiding place. Look for headlights, I will find you somewhere down the road a ways. All I need is a minute to spark this wire. Couple centuries ago, they rode across the plains hunting buffalo. Well, that's how a brave would make his name. We'll cut to here and now, where hunting is a different game here in my hometown. That silver Honda, that's my prey. Oh, it's easy when you strip the wire. That's when I like to close my eyes. I touch it and I feel the spark, then I feel the engine fire. If you feel that the heat is coming, darkness is your hiding place. Look for my headlights, I will find you somewhere down the road a ways. Well, all I need is a minute to spark this wire. Spark this wire. We'll be driving in style. Spark this wire.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That really was wonderful. It shows the talent. It shows the you guys definitely, as we're about to talk about Cairo Fred, but it's coming from you guys and your songwriting and stuff. I love the kind of the wide swath of genres that you guys seem to have absorbed, and that itself is something wonderful and unique too. Congratulations on that, and I can't wait to hear as we go along. That's going to come out next. Let's talk about around 2000. Did you guys have a band going and then you added to it, or how did Cairo Fred come to being?
Well, we were for a while in the 90s, we were part of another band that did a couple of our tunes, but also did cover tunes. Some very, very cool stuff. I was listening to that. But I would say by the end of the 90s, Desson and I had built enough of we felt a big enough body of work that we wanted to start performing at this. I mean, what you just heard was something we've never done before.
Oh.
I mean, guitar and voice. We have never done that. Everything we do is really for a band.
Right.
That includes pedal steel. And we decided to, and I guess I've spent more time in bands and really started calling the people that I loved and thought were the best around.
Right.
People like John Dawson and Andres Plavniks were the first two that we recruited, and these people have all stayed. Buddy Griffin, Brian Reardon.
So you added Andres and John first, and then kept going, or you just added them and then added the other guys, and then then.
Actually, we had a number of different people. We went through a number of different iterations. You get to feel like, maybe you're great at what you do, but that's, it doesn't really supplement.
Not as many drummers as Spinal Tap,
Right, right. They're imploding in their seat. Wow. Yeah, exactly.
A good year and a half to 2 years before we really finally gelled with the personnel we have now.
It's a great thing, isn't it, to be a musician, because you have the society that you build in a basement usually.
Yes.
And
right.
So these people sort of descend from the outside world, and then it's just us, and the wives don't know what the hell's going on, the spouses, the friends, it's just us in our treehouse.
Right.
Making this music that we believe in, and then we go, don't we have to play this out somewhere?
Right.
And record it for posterity.
Yeah.
But when we're together like that, it is like, for me at least, it's the most exclusive club you could imagine. It's that, and you handpicked. That's the way it feels,
Yeah.
It's extraordinary, I think, to be in a band.
Well, I agree. The fact that it began over 20 years ago, and even though there was some iterations at the beginning, you nailed down a group, and you've got Andres, John, Brian, and Buddy, and the two of you kind of churning ahead. As the years went by, you kind of came, maybe you're 5, 10 years into it. It was playing locally. It was you guys continuing to write songs that you would play, right? But waiting on kind of, when did that first homemade album come out?
Well, the first homemade Out of the Blue album would put out around 2008, maybe 2008.
Right.
And for the first one that we just put out last year, that's, I was looking at my notes and I saw, plan to release this February of 15. And I was like, well, I guess that's not happening.
Right.
So we try to focus on quality, not speed.
Yeah. We have our lives as well.
Right.
I've been a film critic for 25 years.
You bet. Yeah.
A lot of time out of me.
I remember when we first met, I was like, wait a minute, I know that name, and I'm like, oh my, the Postman, that my critic, that is wonderful. Well, yeah, of course, life would continue, but this continued to grow. Around 2012, you guys created, you wrote Everything. And did a video which was wonderful. Who was there are people in the video. I love the beginning when the lovely lady comes out and gets to the car, and you hold her hand, and then the song begins. And then, where did this come from? The song itself, and then the thematic nature of the video.
Well, there are a couple of parts. I'll just address the song. I think it's one of the few times where Desson and I have come together and said, let's try something about a specific thing. And what we were talking about was like, can you and I together do something that's rap-like or hip-hop or whatever however one would identify that genre
that
today.
Music all the kids were talking about.
So right. Like, how could we, sorry.
That's okay.
No. How could we in fact do something like that?
Right.
And we talked, we started to break it down and talk about what we thought the elements musically and lyrically were of that kind of a song. And then, after we talked about it, we went away and I finally gave Desson a thought, and then he added to that thought.
Sure.
Actually, tremendous thing. And then of course so we had a song. when we first presented that to the band, everybody was like, what? You know, they didn't kind of get it because it's kind of one chord almost throughout the entire song.
Right.
But actually, eventually everyone came around and their contributions were just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it was thrilling. I'll let Desson address the whole film aspect.
Yeah.
Sure. It was for the Washington, D.C., DC 48 music video project. Was that what it was for?
Oh, yeah, it was for the 48-hour project, which is a great competition and tradition where you have 48 hours to make a movie.
Yes.
And they had the 1 year they did this where it was a music video year. And so we were hooked up with a filmmaker,
right,
who was a great filmmaker, and he got together with us with our song, and I gave him the concept of what I had in mind for the song, and then he sort of did his magic and we did ours.
Wow.
And the woman in the video is a great friend of mine, Christina Del Sesto, and
right.
she was very accommodating as the lady in the video. So
yeah,
it was fun to do. We actually went to another person's house, and we started filming, and then this guy comes across the road. He says, "I will call the police if you hit that drum one more time. I am trying to work." And we went,
oh my God,
crap! You know, we've organized this entire video. Everybody's turned out. We've got the filmmaker, the camera crew, and then luckily my friend Christina says, "Well, I've got a friend who she's around the corner. She says she's got a fancy enough looking house. We can do it in front of there." So,
oh God,
it turned out really to be a better location.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Oh no, it's a blast. Everybody, here's a little taste of Cairo Fred around 2012-ish. Again, for the 48-hour music or video project. And it's a wonderful taste of this band. A lot of fun. Here's a little bit of everything.
Every little dream I wanna know, every little secret that you hold, every little thought in vitro, every little tear that ever flowed, every percolation of your soul, every time you feel like letting go. I could be your boyfriend at the door, got a bag of classic videos, maybe Gunga Din or Vertigo. If you're in the mood, Deuce Bigelow. I just want to be essential, Mr. Speed Dial of your heart, Mr. Can Do everything, everything you want, everything you want, everything you need, every single dream, every ecstasy, nothing in between. Give it to me clean. Everything you do, everywhere you go, wanna be there too. Wish we had a dream house on the bay, somewhere we could duck and slip away, kill the phone and live like hideaways, listen to the seagulls every day. You could tell me things I never knew, I would do the very same for you. Wanna hear a joke? I got a few. I could sing the Beatles too. Rocky Raccoon checked into his room, looking for love with someone like you. I just want to be essential, wanna be your everything. Everything you want, everything you want, every single dream, every secret need, every ecstasy, nothing in between. Give it to me clean. Everything you do, everywhere you go, wanna be there too. Yeah, 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 yeah. Everything you want, every single dream, every single need.
Yeah, that really shows a taste of Cairo Fred. I love that, and again, it's a lot of fun, and it also shows your kind of wonderful genre swings. Again, as you guys went along, you know, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Desson and I met first playing bandhouse gigs. You guys have, Desson, you've done a number of those. You guys have played a number yourselves. That always is an enriching experience, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I love those shows because it brings so many talented musicians together. It's the best showcase that Washingtonians get to see of the talent we have in this town.
Right.
And they all are dedicated to one thing, which is, you know, a particular artist, Joni Mitchell or Elvis Costello, David Bowie.
Right.
It's just fun to watch, you know, an artist who's used to doing one set of material, seeing him do a Costello tune, you know.
Right. Right.
You know, Dave Kitchen, you know, suddenly doing an Elvis Costello tune, or
right.
Eric Scott singing a Bowie tune. You know, I love that stuff. So
yeah, it is. It is an incredible experience. Again, especially for a guy who's not a singer-songwriter level musician, but a midlife cover band guy for 15 years. And what an experience it was. Got a clip here. You guys, we did the Joni Mitchell in 2008, which was a wonderful experience, I'm sure. But I had to show this one. I fell in love with this clip. This is this is from what I guess was called the Neumeier Flyer Halloween Howl around 2014, where Desson, you channeled the one and only Dr. Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror, and this must have been a blast. How did this come to fruition for you to be doing, you guys to be doing this song of all songs?
Well, I want to take a minute because to salute Barbara Roybal, who a great friend, who is, you know, the makeup and hairstylist to the stars. In our you know, Elizabeth Taylor comes through. Barbara Roybal will be doing her, you know, everything you see at the Kennedy Center. That's her work. She's the Picasso behind the screen. So she made me up to be Tim Curry in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like I mean, I have a crush on myself.
That's what I'm saying. I think I had a man crush, but it was actually
it's impossible not to see Tim Curry on TV and not think of Desson.
Yeah.
Oh no, that now I won't be able to. Yeah.
I bought fishnet stockings. I said, look, you either go into this whole hog or not at all.
Yes.
And Barbara Roybal is like fixing the eyelashes like to work. And I'm saying, people are 20 feet away. They don't know that I got eyelashes or not. She says, no. I am the artiste. We will do this directly. So I love Barbara, and I just wanted to give her a hand high five about that.
Beautiful. You should, because you did. I was like, wow, look at, oh wait, it's Desson. I thought it was a hot lady, but no, it's actually Tim Curry. And in this is a wonderful moment, you guys, again, from one of the amazingly talented Neumeier Flyer ensembles, the Halloween Howl from 2014,
and a little from Ronnie Neumeier.
Oh yeah, fabulous. And plus, no one in the band had seen Desson before he came out like that. We had no idea.
So the band is seeing me emerge for the first time.
Oh, you can tell through
look at Brad's face.
I mean, I'm right next to him the whole time in that white thing with the red cap. And I mean, I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Right. You're totally stunned. Oh, I just love that. Well, here you go, everybody. Enjoy a little Neumeier Flyer production. Cairo Fred's Sweet Transvestite.
Now we have a very, very special treat for you all. A special guest has just come in from transsexual Transylvania, a place that doesn't get a lot of tourist business. I don't know why, but he's just flown in for a special occasion to see you all here tonight, and I think he's just gotten off the plane, and let's see if we can get him to the stage. Please welcome Dr. Frankenfurter.
You were the candy man. Don't get strung out by the way I look. Don't judge your book by its cover. I'm not much of a man by the light of day, but by night I'm one hell of a lover. I'm just a sweet transvestite.
Okay. Yeah, I'll never be able to watch that movie again without thinking of you, Desson. That is a blast, and again, it shows not only your wonderful talent, the band's talent, Ronnie's just amazing efforts, just endlessly. And boy, speaking of somebody, I had him on the show about 6 months into the pandemic, and we had a wonderful ride. That was one of my favorites. But wow, so he's been held back too with the WHFS shows. I know they were booked at the Barnes for the Linda Ronstadt tribute, and that's going to be rescheduled. But so it was tough for them too. But they loved the new the Bandhouse videos that they did were a blast too, just showing everybody.
Well, Ronnie does a great job. I mean, everything he's involved in, he's fabulous in every respect.
Yeah, it's neat to be associated with him. I'm sure it's not going to be the last time you guys will. You know, this has been a wonderful look at you guys. Desson, again, I've known for a while. I've found such a wonderful journey learning about Cairo Fred. Before we say goodbye, again, you got a record coming out. When is it destined for a release, or it's going to come out in the next year, probably?
By the end of this year, we will.
End of this year.
Yeah.
Yes, and it will be very exciting.
Oh, I bet. Well, we'll be talking about it on the show. Maybe we'll have you on the end of the year, and we'll talk about the new record and do some more of this. But we are in another wonderful position to have you guys play a little more music. This was a song that I saw a clip of you guys playing at Blues Alley right behind me, which you guys played about 6 months ago. Obviously, one of the most revered, esteemed venues. That had to be great. Did you both played there before?
I had never played there before.
No, I never dreamed I would get a chance to play there, and we did, and that was
great.
Height.
The only other thing we compared was Strathmore. That's
yes,
but Blues Alley, it was fabulous. I mean, how more iconic place can you play?
Yeah, you can't. The people that have played on Living on Music that have played there are just still in awe, like you are. And I remember going to see Branford Marsalis there one time, and I went upstairs to the bathroom, came out, and he was sitting in his dressing room down the hall by himself. And I was looking at him, and he noticed me looking, and he was like, "Come here, man." Went up and talked to Brandon for like 10 minutes about his show. And it's in this little building. It's so humble, but
intimate.
It's so revered. But I love that clip. This is a song you guys, though, are going to do for us in person, and it's called Falling. What is the origin of this before you dive in?
It's I think about every song I ever write is a story. It's a narrative. It's just the way I like to write. And this is a friend of mine, dearly departed, who there's no other way to say this. He was an alcoholic, and he came down for the weekend. My wife Sally and I, we went down with him and his girlfriend, or I can't remember if she was married at the time. Right. And we were at this beach house, and in the morning, I'm awakened by this sound of a violin, and I wake up, and my friend is standing in the garden on top of those compost piles that you see in gardens, and he's got a violin, and there's already like 2 or 3 beer cans that he's already had at his feet, and he's playing fantastic violin, and that image just seared itself into my soul.
I bet.
I just took up from there with this song. So.
Oh, wow. Beautiful background on that one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are Brad and Desson with a little bit of Falling.
My friend loves the violin, the wooden warmth against his skin, counts the cold ones at his feet, enough to last the night at least. He plays like Nero till the dawn, grace notes for oblivion, and he's got no worries. There's my friend again, his face down on the ground, he's tasting blood and rain, 'cause he can't stop falling. Daylight comes to everyone, my friend's day is never done. Women come and women go in a gurgling human flow. Empty bottles in the pile, a wall against the world outside, and he's got no worries. There's my friend again. He's face down on the ground. He's chased in blood and rain, 'cause he can't stop falling. No, he can't stop falling. No more friends applauding. No more all adoring crowd. No, no, he can't stop falling. He's comatose by morning. My friend can't stop falling down, falling down, falling down, falling down, falling down.
Well, that's Cairo Fred and Brad and Desson personified. That's beautiful, Desson. I love the way your voice sounds. Brad, beautiful job. And then you guys bring it to the band, and boy, do they embellish it. What a wonderful collection of people you found. It seems like things are pretty darn good for this 20-plus-year-old band.
Yeah, 20 plus, that sounds funny. Because I think of it as age, but yes, it's fantastic.
I don't remember being 20 plus ever, but yeah.
Right.
But it is extraordinary to have such a group of wonderfully talented people that are such great people and friends stay with us this whole time and everybody comes to work prepared, and it's fabulous.
Wow.
You know, we go through life with so many chapters of friends, and we're so obsessed with it at a young age.
Yes.
And then you go through all these chapters. When you get to a certain age and your friends start to winnow down or reshape, you start to really hone in on the ones that are, the lifers. And to have a set of friends who are also involved in a creative pursuit, as well as being friends, is an extraordinary thing.
Oh yeah, I find it. You're so lucky. It's just wonderful. Gigs, you guys have bounced back. You had a bunch in 2021. You've probably got some coming up over the next number of weeks. This show's going to air sometime in April. So anything going through the spring and summer you want to bring up now, or are you kind of continuing to facilitate your live shows?
Right now, we're working on the album, but
Perfect.
we will be performing at the likes of Hank Diedel's, I know, very soon. So that's one of our favorite places to go. Great hanging spot for all musicians. You see everybody there.
Totally. Well, guess what? Who's featured either a show or two after you will be Gina Coco and Hank Diedel's. We're going to talk to Gina about her amazing role with Diedel's. They brought her in to reboot it after it had burned, and she became an instrumental part of it. And boy, has she upped her musical career lately. So how wonderful. I just had Steve Forbert on, as I told you guys pre-show, and he played there at the end of 2021. And that was a thrill for them too. So, I know that's going to be exciting as you guys go forward, because playing live, as you know, and as I know, as a musician, there is nothing like it. I have my first live gig with my duo partner, Jess Robinson, tomorrow night, when we're taping this, tomorrow night at Clarendon's in Falls Church. And boy, are we excited to actually be out and see people and play. Again, we're bouncing through the inner workings of this pandemic, but hopefully people will be safe and excited to see it. And I know you guys feel the same about getting out and playing, because there is nothing like it. You guys have Freedom Street as a record that's out. You got the new one coming out by the end of the year. I'm going to be following you. So I hope to have Cairo Fred on again in the show as you guys get towards that record. But in the meantime, Desson and Brad, wishing you the best of luck, health, happiness, and music. Good luck with it. And thanks for being on Living on Music with me.
Thank you very much for having us. It was wonderful being a guest.
And Steve, thank you for supporting music on this great show you have.
Well, I appreciate it. It's been an incredible run, and I just can't stop. I've been in TV for almost 40 years, and I've wanted to blend music and television, and who knew that during a pandemic I would begin it, but boy, is it coming out of it, and we're having a blast. But again, Brad and Desson, best of luck to you. We'll keep in touch.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
a lot.
Same to you, Steve.
All right, guys. That's great. What a fun ride with those two great guys, and what a band. And Cairo Fred, again, as Desson said, we are pop's ultimate late bloomers, and they've been together for 20 plus years, and now they've got a record out that recently came out, and they've got something coming out soon. So congratulations, Cairo Fred. Keep things going, keep the rock and roll, keep the alternative rock, the adult contemporary, the pop jazz, the wonderful genre mix that you guys have found. And let's keep in close touch. Everybody, if you could, go to Living on Music on YouTube and subscribe. That's how we rise up awareness and also the inclusion of a bunch of things by YouTube. So please, just trying to get up, start about 100. We're about 92 or 3 right now. Love to get up over 100. Also go to Living on Music on Facebook, about 800 members, and would love to have you join the Living on Music Nation if you're not already there. It's become a wonderful place to see different clips of music, different pictures, different posts of local bands. Everything that is musically related is on that page, and I love having it. So join us. And also, if you're a podcaster, Living on Music with Steve Houck is on podcast now, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, on Google Podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, on a number of other podcast sources. So just go to your wherever you like to listen to podcasts and look for Living on Music with Steve Houck, Houk, and find it there. And if you do see one and you listen to it and you like it, write a review. Reviews come in very handy too for the awareness and the rising of different podcasts. So we'd love to have you in general become the part of the Living on Music Nation. Once again, thanks Cairo Fred, Desson, and Brad. Loved having you on the show, and stay tuned for ongoing editions of Living on Music over the next few weeks. We've got some guests that you're really going to love. You can find all the information on Living on Music with Steve Houck on Facebook. Once again, thanks very much for joining me, and please keep living on music.